Hey guys, it's Coach Grein. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Friday. Just wanted to do one kind of final video like this in advance of our final game or two games tomorrow on Saturday. So wanted to kind of recap last week's game and then also talk about adjustments to make moving forward. Both kind of improvements and also things that we've been doing pretty well that we can expand upon. So first things first, wanted to touch on last week's loss. Um, it was certainly tough, but really proud of the way that you guys responded in terms of effort and character. I think that it's games like this, it's always a learning experience, and it's about how do you respond both within the game and then after the game. So if you guys came home, held your head high and just said, "Hey, we're going to get back to work. I'm going to go and hit the wall this week. Go shoot on the goal. Go do something to get better. Go watch a video or something like that." And then you're going to kind of carry that motivation with you from now all the way through through the spring season, through high school tryouts. Really, just keep building on it. I think that's the way to respond. Don't get down on yourself during the game or after the game. You got to stay mentally tough. And there's a saying from Nat St. Laurent, who's a college coach and also the head coach of the Redwoods in the PLL. Um, it's head up, chest out. So it's he's got a military background. It's really about how you carry yourself, whether you're winning by 10 goals or you're down by 20. Always having that appearance of, we're going to stand proud. We're going to, go out there and not physically show that we're being beaten or not be overly, cocky or jubilant or whatever it might be if we're up by a bunch too. So I think you guys did a good job of that. And I think that's something to take with you. There will be more games like that where you're on both sides. And I think it's about how you carry yourself. Um, I think that says a lot. And I think that, it means a lot more too at the next level. High school coaches are looking at that stuff and college coaches are looking at that stuff. Just in terms of like, if everyone's at a relatively similar skill level, um, and even, a guy that might be really skilled, but is a jerk or, doesn't know how to respond to different situations. I think that a coach is always going to take kind of that more mentally tough guy 10 times out of 10. So guys, during a game, whether we're losing big or it's a close game, I feel like the first game tomorrow is going to be a close game, one way or the other. Whether we come out on top or not, I think it's going to be close throughout. So during the game, little things are going to happen. Um, a game is never going to go 100% according to plan. Things are going to happen. We're going to make mistakes. You just always have to focus on moving on to the next play. So if we give up a goal, go and make a play, go clear the ball, get the next ground ball. If their goalie makes a save on our shot, we got to ride right away. Can't like hang our head or shake our head or swing our stick or anything like that. Got to just move on. If we miss a shot, we got to chase it out of bounds. If we drop a pass, we got to go pick up the ground ball and go, try and get a turnover, things like that. Always just move on right away. There's no time to dwell on lacrosse. It's not like in football, if a quarterback throws an interception, he goes and sits on the sideline for 10 minutes and thinks about it. If you throw an interception in lacrosse, their players run right down the field past you in 2 seconds. So you gotta turn around real fast. And then you gotta put forth the effort for your teammates. So this season has been unique in that we haven't had, some of these guys on the team have been together for a long time. Some of the players are brand new to the team, and we haven't had a ton of time to spend together and practice and stuff like that. But I still feel like we're a really good, tight knit group, and certainly all all pushing towards the same direction and all have each other's backs, which is awesome. But I'd say it's even more so at the next level at high school. You're during the season, you're playing with each other, 5-6 days a week, doing stuff in the off season, tournaments and stuff like that, and keeping a stick in your hands almost every month out of the year, in terms of like doing camps and clinics and indoor league and fall league and all that sort of stuff. Um, so my point is, you want to make sure that you're putting forth the effort on behalf of your teammates. You know that those guys are out there working. Um, everyone's out there going, trying to strive towards the same goal. So you gotta go out there and do it for them. No pointing fingers. Everyone on the team is going to make a mistake, and everyone on the team is going to make plays. Everyone's got to put in work equally and not let the team down. If you let the team, if you make a mistake that is going to cause, give up a goal or cause us to lose the game or whatever, that's not the end of the world. Everyone's going to have your back. If it's just a mistake, because that happens. But if it's an effort thing where you're not putting in the effort, you're not going after every ground ball as hard as you can, you're not chasing the ball out of bounds, you're giving up on plays, that's what's going to really irk your teammates and your coaches. So I'd say effort is 100%. Everyone has to be kind of rowing in the same direction. A couple things to touch on just in terms of tactical stuff. I don't have my whiteboard with me, but can just talk about it. On defense, we'll start there first. I think first of all, we've just gotta be a little bit better with communication. We've got to be more organized, starting with the goalie, but also defenders, especially, and midfielders. Everyone's got to be yelling. Because not everyone's going to see what's happening in the play. So you got to yell out where the ball is, yell out cutters when there's players cutting through. Someone might not see it, so you got to yell cutter, yell crease, wherever the guy's cutting to. And then we also have to be organized with who's going to slide and when. And that's one of those things that's a lot easier with more practice. So I know it's a tough spot to be in, trying to get that organization on defense without having a chance to practice it together. But we'll get better. We'll get there. On the ball, footwork is the biggest thing I want to see us working on. I thought last week we did a pretty good job a lot of the time, but then we lost it a little bit on footwork. We overcommitted, came out too aggressive and got run past. And, the team we played had a lot of really quick guys, really good dodgers. But if you just stay between the man and the goal, you're going to be doing a good job on ball defense. And you're really moving majority like sideways and backwards, trying to run with the guy. If you're standing between the guy and the goal, he's got to take, twice as many steps as you do to get around you, to go to the goal if you're in a good position. If you come out and overcommit and he can just run in a straight line past you, you're making his job really easy. So it's going to be similar to like football defense, if you're like in coverage. Basketball, certainly, a lot of similarities in terms of the footwork. Soccer, same thing. If you're running kind of sideways or backwards with a man, that's kind of how we're approaching it, not, coming out aggressively to the guy. Off-ball defense, we really have to focus on the man and stop ball watching as much. Got to do a much better job of kind of man ball. So watching where the ball is for a split second and then looking back at your man, keeping a stick on him, making sure that you're not getting beat by those cutters, running right past you. Happened way too much last week, and it's just one of those frustrating things. So you really just need to make sure you know where your man is at all times, stay right next to him. If he's a little further out, like I said last week, if he's further out from the goal and he's not a threat to score there, you don't have to go stand right next to him then. You just still have to have eyes on him, because he's certainly, if you're not right next to him, he's going to cut. He's going to come right past you. So you got to make sure that you're ready for that and ready to run with him. If he's kind of closer to the goal or anywhere close to the crease, you got to have your stick on him. You got to be able to, if there's a pass thrown in there, got to knock down the pass, got to, get a body on the player, or at least get your stick on his stick, something like that to screw up the play. And lastly, we got to play a little bit more physical. So in the past, I've had teams that have taken some probably too many penalties on illegal hits and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. Is not like, going out there and playing dirty. But within the rules of the game and within, good sportsmanship, there's a lot of room to play physical, and certainly, it kind of asserts yourself as a defender, brings a presence, and doesn't let the other team push you around. You got to kind of bring that energy, bring that physicality, and don't be afraid of the contact, right? You're wearing pads for a reason. If you're going in a good manner, hitting someone in the right way and in the right position, you're not going to get hurt. They're not going to get hurt. It's more of just like, you got to let them know that you're there. And whether that's a ground ball, if that's, someone cutting through the middle of the defense and we're sliding to them, if it's someone trying to catch the ball on the crease, those are all situations where I want us to be more physical for sure. Can also do that on offense. On offense, if there's someone trying to take the ball away from you, you don't have to run around them. You can kind of run through them to a certain extent. So I think the refs, depending on which ref you have, it might, they might be a little bit more lenient with that or not, but you have to be able to absorb the contact and also understand you can give some contact back on offense as well. On offense in general, we just have to get a little bit more comfortable in kind of settled situations. So where we have the ball, we get the ball down on a clean clear, or we start with the ball off a clear. We have to be comfortable, not just running right to the goal right away. We have to be able to work the ball around the outside and get off-ball movement. So off-ball movement is really the key to success in an offense. If you don't have the ball, you got to be moving. So in a normal 6-on-6, there's going to be 5 guys moving around without the ball. In our setting, it's going to be 4 guys moving around without the ball and 1 guy with the ball. So if you don't have the ball, you shouldn't be standing still. You should be going to set a pick for the ball carrier, set a pick for someone else who's going to make a cut. You can V-cut to get open, so kind of cut in towards the goal and then pop back out to get your defender off of you. You can also kind of switch positions with someone else. So if you're on the crease, you can pop out to the wing or pop up top and switch. Just really make the defender move. If the defenders are just standing still and able to watch the ball and not have to worry about cutters and picks, then it becomes really easy. You have to work the ball around the goal, work the ball through X, and make the defense work. And make them play with their back to the goal. We have to initiate from X and from the wings as well. So have to really make sure that we're utilizing the entire area of the field and not just attacking from up top. I feel like right now we have 2 or 3 guys all standing above the goal and maybe 1 guy down on the crease or on the wing or at X. We got to make sure we stay spread out and work the ball through all areas. Just because we want to get shots from up top doesn't mean that we can't bring the ball back. We also need to back up shots. So we need to do a better job of getting people back at X and on the wings to chase shots out of bounds, and making sure we're getting people on the crease and cutting in and out off the crease again. Lastly, guys, on clears and rides, we did a pretty good job, a lot better job last week, I thought, on clears and rides, but we can still get better. On the clears, we got to always try and get the ball to a midi. Middies need to be moving around to try and get open, always. So always trying to be active and get that ball on their stick. And the attack needs to be ready to get a pass or fight for a ground ball as well. On the ride, we really need to be aggressive, especially starting with the attackman. I think our attack really needs to take the mindset of, I'm going to go get this ball back and be as aggressive as possible with their defense and their goalie and really try and win the ball, force a takeaway, force a bad pass. And also when they're, if they've got a defender or someone carrying the ball up or even a midi, if our attack is closest to the midfield line and our attack's in a good position to try and ride, our attack can cross over coming back on defense and become basically a midi for a second. To try and continue that ride. And then we can have one of the middies, do like a midi back, but on the offensive side. So if we have a midi stay forward, we can have an attack and 2 other middies drop back. And then hopefully we get the ball back. If that attack is doing a good job riding, we can win that ball back. And if not, our attackmen will be on defense for a couple minutes, and that'll be okay, and then we'll switch back. But don't be afraid to do that. Too often we see attackmen just stop at midfield because that's what they think they should do. But I want to see us really press and try and get that ball back and not give up on it. So guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm excited for tomorrow. We got a great chance to go out there and play some real quality lacrosse. So let's bring that attitude. Let's bring that character and that right approach that we've talked about. So I'm excited about it, guys. Let's get it going.